Hello and welcome to part 2 of The Pain, which is trying to beat Master Mode Terraria with nothing but boomerangs. If you haven't seen part 1, I would recommend watching that first as it covers the entirety of pre-hard mode, though that is just a suggestion and you can do whatever you want. Also, I'm once again joined by Lilith, who's the person that challenged me to do this playthrough in the first place. Links to her YouTube channel along with my community Discord server can be found in the description down below. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy, and without any more wasted time, let's get into the video. Anyway, Nice run.
Oh, it's going. Oh,
It's dead.
No! Yes! Finally!
Cool.
Anyway, let's see what I'm gonna get. I'm so excited.
Drum roll.
A breaker blade.
Oh boy, I can't believe it. Clockwork assault rifle. While we couldn't use any of the weapons we got from the Wall of Flesh, we were able to get ourselves the warrior emblem by shimmering the ones we received in our treasure bags. However, seeing as we were now in hard mode, this was not enough of an upgrade for us to survive even the most basic of mobs, so we turned our attention to the next weapon available to us, the flying knife. With the flying knife as our next objective, I went back to hell in order to grind several more souls of light, and somehow managed to get it on my very first hollowed mimic. However, this being a two-person world, I had to go back and kill several more mimics before we managed to get a second flying knife for Lilith. But as it turns out, all of that work was virtually for nothing, as the traveling merchant decided to sell us the Sergeant United shield immediately afterwards. And I would complain about this, except the Sergeant United shield is actually a somewhat good weapon, so thanks, I guess. From here, we were ever so kindly greeted by a blood moon, where I managed to get myself yet another boomerang, the Bananarang. Man, we're getting a lot of boomerangs in relative quick succession. Surely this means we won't face any problems later in the challenge, primarily towards the end, right? Oh, yeah, I also forgot to mention, Lilith decided to build some more abominations, so you'll occasionally see one pop up now and then. You've been warned. Anyway, after the blood moon ended, I bought myself some corrupt seeds from the Dryad and made an artificial corruption in order to spawn and absolutely shred through the Eater of Worlds. The purpose of this, you may be asking? The Worm Scarf, of course, which reduces damage taken by a whopping 17%, an accessory which you can bet with 100% confidence I was going to be using throughout the entirety of this challenge. Now that we had gotten ourselves better accessories, weapons, and armor, which I completely forgot to include a clip of us making, it was finally time for us to face the first boss of hard mode, the Destroyer. I am absolutely doing nothing productive when it comes to preparing for the fight tonight. I'm just
Why don't
standing
you get
around.
me some fucking water candles, Crispy? Or a battle potion. We're doing it tonight. Oh my frick. We don't have wings, Crispy!
We don't need wings.
Crispy, yes we do!
No, we don't.
We're not gonna be able to, we're gonna have to fight it next night instead of this night.
No, wait, that's right. I should probably just go back to the base now.
No! No! I don't have wings!
With our improved gear, the Destroyer was surprisingly easy, even without wings. Admittedly, we also had to use the nurse to heal ourselves in the middle of the fight, something which we decided to outlaw from here on out, with the exception of healing immediately after respawning. I just got wormed again.
Stop
I'm
getting
gonna heal.
wormed.
I don't care that it's so
Oh my god,
low.
it's literally at 3,000 health.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to die while it was low.
Get back here.
There we go. Cool. Oh! Let's go, dev set!
I just got the Shield of Cthulhu. Oh, I opened the wrong one.
I was gonna say, there's something wrong with you if that's what happened.
I got a dev set.
I don't know what the odds are of us both getting a dev set from like the same fight. Wait, hold up. I need to actually look that up because that is quite rare, I must admit. A random set of developer items can rarely 1 in 20 chance drop from hard mode boss's treasure bag. So that was a 0.25% chance of happening. After defeating the Destroyer for the first time, we agreed it would be best to kill him once more to get ourselves a full set of hollowed armor. So we did just that, and managed to get ourselves an additional +1 defense. Truly the pinnacle of progression. Having defeated the Destroyer not once but twice, we set our sights on our next victim, who has quite the sight of their own, the twins. Normally, the twins would be quite the hassle to deal with as there's 2 of them, and they're typically quite adamant in wanting us dead. However, seeing as there were 2 of us, we were able to break the twins in 2, and only needed to worry about our respective boss. Even in their mechanical form, neither of us ended up dying, though I was quite close towards the end. Either way, we were once again victorious in our efforts. Oh, I'm dead. Wormhole. Oh. Yeah! Let's go!
Easy.
Literally no sweat whatsoever.
I didn't get a dev set.
Oh, that's unfortunate, neither did I. From here, we once again decided to investigate potential upgrades to our arsenal, and thought that perhaps the light disc would be a fine addition to our collection. But the intrusive thoughts won, and I ended up going off on a slight tangent.
Why don't you run down here? I'll go. Why? Why? I can't survive her alone with a fork man? I'm gonna die! Crispy, why would you spawn her?
I thought it would go better. Where's the nurse? Oh, there's the nurse. Anyway, that was pretty fun.
I hope you lose your family in a tragic car crash along with 16 teeth.
Either way, we eventually got ourselves the light discs, and they just outright suck. I mean, yeah, mine is quite literally broken, but even Lilith's Unreforged one could be mistaken as a Temu product, so we tucked them away into storage and completely forgot about them. But what we didn't forget about was Skeletron Prime. So after returning to our arena, we summoned the final boss of the mechanical trio, and I almost immediately died. Alright, I'm respawning, I'm healing, and then I'm running to the arena. Apparently I don't have money.
What?
I'm selling things.
You're selling things mid-Skeletron fight?
Absolutely!
Are you kidding me?
What do I not need? I'm gonna just sell my hollowed bars. I sold my hollowed bars. After that little hiccup, the rest of the fight went by quite smoothly, and after relentlessly throwing fruit at Skeletron Prime's chrome dome for an entire 7.5 minutes, he eventually died of a radiation poisoning, and we were able to reap our rewards, with those rewards being an overgrown jungle, which is actively trying to kill us. While we were on our way to the jungle, the little Palpatine who constantly sits on my shoulder whispered into my ear, "Do it!" And I once again found myself summoning Queen Slime for the second time.
Like the Batwings. You bitch, we don't have an arena!
We don't need an arena!
Yes, we fucking do, bro.
I've never used an arena for Queen Slime. Not once.
I've never fought Queen Slime.
Well, congrats!
And you've never fought Queen Slime with Boomerangs.
And? Despite Lilith claiming we would once again perish, much like our previous attempt at this boss, we ended up tearing Queen Slime to shreds, which allowed my gel collection to grow once more. Though my collection did end up taking a relatively massive hit, as I needed to invest a sizable portion of it into nuclear warfare. Before I could use my brand new and very expensive toys, I once again found myself in a rather statistically improbable situation. Not that it has any major long-lasting effects on the playthrough, I just found it to be rather interesting. I'm gonna have to do another Google search.
What?
Because I got 2 tattered bee wings back to back. I don't have an exact one in number, but it looks to be around 11 and 250,000. Anyway, back to channeling my inner Cargill and raining absolute hellfire upon the jungle for my own personal gain. Man, I love being able to destroy entire ecosystems without any repercussions for my actions.
Wait, have I been using the diamond hook this... Oh.
Probably.
I guess that means the hook of dissonance is probably better, to be honest.
Dissonance.
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 It's called the hook of dissonance.
Dissonance.
It's not. It's the hook of dissonance.
Show me the receipts. Dissonance.
It literally says dissonance right there. Ask the comments.
It's literally dissonance.
Is it dissonance or dissonance, guys? Has it been long enough we can name the tree?
Let's see. This person said snurl, which I have no idea if that's a reference to anything. This person said Teresa. That's 5 likes. That's so far the most. Oh, yep.
What?
We're doing Teresa.
Nope. Now it has 4.
Not on my end. It's not.
Refresh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the official name of the tree. Teresa.
No.
But once the dust had settled, platforms were placed, and this ugly mud structure, which was supposed to help spawn Plantera's bulbs, were built, we went ahead and summoned in Plantera, the self-proclaimed queen of the jungle. 3,
Ready.
2, 1. Here we go.
Wait, I'm not recording.
Oh my god. Change that right now. You have a really bad habit of doing that, by the way. Also, it's shooting you.
Am I doing okay?
Yeah, you're actually taking 1 damage.
Oh. Alright then.
I've got some high hopes for this fight, I must admit, after seeing that. And sure enough, Plantera ended up being nothing more than a glorified, overgrown weed, which we quickly disposed of with absolutely zero sweat. We didn't even have to use herbicides, that's how easy this fight ended up being.
Do we know where the temple is?
Despite having searched a decent chunk of the jungle already, we had, as it turns out, not found the jungle temple. So we both turned our attention to searching, and after an unknown amount of time later, exactly 30 minutes and 11 seconds, I finally came across the temple with help of a danger sense potion. Now that I had officially breached the impenetrable walls of the jungle temple, I made my way down to the boss room and summoned the guardian of the temple himself, Gollum. Now, I should have noticed this when we were fighting Plantera, but it was only now that I realized I pretty much had no aggro, so while Gollum was targeting Lilith, I was able to just sit on the sidelines and maintain almost full health for the entire fight, which honestly made Gollum somehow even more boring of a boss than usual. Having just beaten Gollum, we went back and fought him several more times in order to get myself the possessed hatchet, and seeing as Lilith had yet to get a hatchet of her own, we fought Gollum again, and again, and a couple more times before she finally got it.
If we get it, if either of us get it this attempt,
I mean, we only have one more attempt after this before we
I'll find a
grind
ghost
more.
pepper and eat it this week. Fuck me. I got it, but... Shit.
Nice
Shit.
one, you've
Shit.
done this to yourself. Oh, and on one of our attempts, I was able to stand quite literally still for practically the whole fight, so that was funny, I guess. Anyway, at this point in the game, we now had the option to fight the lunatic cultists, but before we did that, we decided to get ourselves some more upgrades along with some general quality of life items. For example, Lilith really wanted to get the shrimpy truffle along with getting fish on wings, so I gathered a couple truffle worms and quickly disposed of Duke Fishron several times. In the end, we never got Lilith the fish on wings, but she did end up getting the steampunker's jetpack, so it wasn't the end of the world. Next, I wanted to get myself the Hexed Branch, a Master Mode exclusive item which summons a miniature Morningwood mount, and that's Morning, M-O-U-R-N, which I have for reasons long forgotten dubbed Spaghetti Boy. This mount has an incredibly quick horizontal acceleration and has a max running speed of 82 miles per hour. All of this being trivia which none of you watching care to know, but I wanted to share anyway. From here, we finally went to the dungeon, but not for the lunatic cultist, as we could further increase our defense by getting ourselves the Paladin Shield. And while we were lucky enough to get Paladin to spawn relatively frequently, it took ages to get both of us the shield. So long in fact that we were able to not only craft ourselves each a set of Master Ninja gear, but were able to get 3 extra sets of black belts and tabbies. After we got the Paladin shields, we farmed several Crimson Mimics to get ourselves 2 Flesh Knuckles each, one to craft the hero shield and the other just for the extra defense. And finally, after all of that, it was time to fight the lunatic cultist.
Don't use homing,
Why not use homing?
because when he switches, he's gonna spawn the dragon.
He's not going to spawn a dragon unless you hit the wrong one.
Yeah, but you have homing.
Watch. See?
How did you know which one it was?
Because it's a different color.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I just thought you just had to guess.
No! For the most part, this fight was relatively straightforward, though for some reason Lilith had a visceral hatred for fighting on land and subsequently brought the fight to the sky, and since I tend to fight best on the ground, I was not particularly what one would call happy about this predicament.
Yeah, why don't you use your shrimpy fucking truffle?
Because I don't like it! I'm only using it right now because you're up in the stratosphere. Stratosphere or not, Lunatic Cultist was inevitably defeated, which immediately started everyone's favorite stage of the game, the Lunar Event. When it comes down to the 4 pillars, who better to introduce the event than none other than the Solar Pillar? If this is your first time being introduced to anything Terraria related, you may not understand why everyone hates the Solar Pillar in particular, so let me break it down for you. You can't fly because you'll die, you can't be on the ground because you'll die, if you have friends, they're all dead, Fire Sonic over here is dedicated his life to ending yours, and his other friend who can also turn into a ball, he can go through walls if you try to block yourself in. Yeah, this pillar sucks. Good thing we just killed it and we'll never have to deal with it for the remainder of the playthrough. That would certainly suck now, wouldn't it? Up next is the Stardust Pillar, which is hands down the easiest pillar of this event, seeing as you can simply farm power cells to remove the pillar shield. That's it. It's really not that complicated. The next pillar on our checklist is certainly less painful than the Solar Pillar, but still deserves a specifically hot corner in hell, and that is of course the Nebula Pillar. We did die to this pillar quite a few times, hence my particular hatred for it, but hating the pillars is just a natural human response, just like subscribing to my YouTube channel, something you should definitely consider doing if you like this video thus far. Anyway, instead of immediately rushing to the final pillar, we decided to take the time and build a proper Moonlord arena, consisting of a singular line of asphalt along with 2 teleporters on either end, a feature which we didn't use all that often, but was implemented in case we needed to make a quick getaway. Once the arena was built, the plan was originally to fight the Vortex Pillar and summon Moonlord, but I quickly realized I should probably get something better than Hollowed Armor, so I proceeded to spend the next 15.5 minutes searching for his singular turtle shell, and no, I'm not going to subject you to all of that, so let's skip to the tearful and heartfelt moment where I finally got the shell. Okay, there we go. Finally got it. Now that I could finally afford some real armor, we went back to the Vortex Pillar where— oh my god, that's a lot of alien queens, Jesus Christ! Where we managed to take down the final pillar, officially bringing us to the final stretch of this challenge. Unfortunately, despite having devoted well over 1,000 hours into this game, along with beating Moonlord countless times, I found myself completely clueless, and suffered numerous full-on direct hits from the Phantasmal Death Ray. And because of this, it was only a matter of time before we both died. How long? How long?
10 seconds.
Oh, that's not happening. But this was no big deal, as we grabbed a Celestial Sigil and went back to the arena for attempt 2, which honestly went worse than the first attempt as we didn't even manage to take down a single eye. After this particularly disappointing second attempt, Lilith headed off for the night, but I wasn't quite satisfied. So I spent the next hour or so doing some research, where I discovered that by slightly altering the setup I used my yo-yo only playthrough, I could achieve up to 130 defense without using potions or other external factors such as the Bass statue. And the best part about all this is that we already had the vast majority of these items to start with. So the next day when we logged on to the world, I went to the jungle temple to farm power cells and solar tablets and asked Lilith to build some more houses for the Tavern Keep to move into. A big mistake.
So like, what kind of housing are we talking?
Normal housing, just replicate what I did in the sky.
No can do, buddy.
What do you mean no can do?
No can do.
You just do what I did.
I don't know how to do that.
Just literally build it right next to it, that way you can just look over.
I don't know, buddy.
It's just copying the homework.
Seems too difficult.
It's not like a differential equation.
I don't know, pal.
This is why you have an entire family of, like, 3 kids, 1 minotaur looking thing,
That is
and
a horse.
a random empty box in the desert.
That's a horse.
When you were first building it, you asked me if I knew what a minotaur was, and I was like, oh yeah, half man, half bull. And you're like, yeah, I'm building something like that.
Well, it's something like that. It's really more half man, half horse.
So that's just a centaur.
No, it's a man horse. Not the same as a centaur.
What do you mean?
It's a man horse. If you make fun of this guy, you're racist, by the way.
How so?
'Cause he's out of spooky wood. His skin tone is darker.
Wait, what
So-
are you doing?
Nothing.
What are you building right now?
Nothing.
Oh my god, what is that?
It's my boy, Jonathan.
Why do you refuse to build normal houses?
This is normal.
For you, yes, but that's not normal. At least the baby boy was unique. Now you're just doing generic boxes out of wood.
Not a generic box. You don't understand the art that's behind this.
Most modern art can be drawn by a toddler given a crayon for the first time. Right now, you're seeming to emulate that perfectly. After returning home, I started a solar eclipse with the hopes of getting a moonstone, and despite killing numerous vampires, I never managed to drop one myself. So I instead had to trade Lilith my ice spring for her extra stone as she already had a celestial shell. From here, we fought a couple more golems for the sunstone, and once I crafted myself the celestial shell, it was time to fight the old one's army. In order to help us not spend the next couple millennia on this event, I added a Hoik platform on either side of the crystal to stop the majority of mobs from advancing. That being said, we still lost at 96% of the way through wave 6, and as we were nowhere near the 50 defender medals required for the Valhalla Knight's Greaves, we had to fight the old one's army 2 more times. On both of these attempts, we managed to get to the 7th and final wave, yet we never managed to beat Betsy. Either way, the goal was never to win, and we were able to buy ourselves the last piece of armor to finish off our setup, and now it was time to fight Moonlord once more. With our new gear, we managed to live much longer than the previous 2 attempts, and even managed to expose Moonlord's core, but as luck would have it, an unfortunate turn of events led to Lilith's demise, and I was soon to follow. After seeing the noticeable improvement using our new setup, we were highly optimistic going into the 4th attempt, so we grabbed our last Celestial Sigil, went back to the arena, and died. This failed Moonlord attempt absolutely crushed us. Not only did we use our last Celestial Sigil, meaning we'd have to beat Lunatic Cultists in the Lunar event for a second time, but we thought we had everything figured out. I mean, we had 130 plus defense each, some of the best potions in the game, and a strategy which made it so only one person would be targeted by Moonlord at any given moment. And unlike the previous attempts, it wasn't like we had overlooked any upgrades. I mean, if only there was a way in which we could regenerate health faster without having to use a nurse, but it's not like there's an item which we could use to greatly increase life regeneration while we stand still off in the sidelines, not having to worry about dodging any of the attacks. Oh wait. Let me introduce you to the Shiny Stone, an item which has a 100% chance to drop from the Golem treasure bag. This item often gets overlooked, but in this particular scenario is the exact item we need. You see, if you stand completely still whilst using this accessory, you can regenerate up to 40 health per second. And when Squidward's somewhat deranged little cousin is actively trying to kill you, being able to regenerate health quickly is vital to one's survival. So, once Lilith and I got our hands on this accessory, it was only a matter of time before Moonlord fell.
Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know, Tell me, have I lost my mind? Nowhere to go, so far from home. Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know. Tell me, have I lost my mind? So I break these walls and hold my head up high, and I step my ground until the day I die. As the rain falls down, there's no more tears to cry. So I break these walls and hold my head up high. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in.
Please, you're so close! Sub 5k, come on, this has to be it! This has to be it! This has to be it!
I'm not giving.
Yes! Yes! Let's go! It's over! It's over! Let's go! Oh.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get my treasure back.
I have never enjoyed seeing creator Andrew redigit Sphinx more so than this in my entire life. And with that, we conclude our journey in trying to beat Master Mode Terraria with only Boomerangs. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure to turn on the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. Again, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.